Everybody thinks you need to blow up on TikTok or have a celebrity wear your brand to make real money from your brand. But I've seen dozens of people hit $10,000 a month consistently without a single viral post. And it always comes down to just some simple math, smart systems, and understanding how to sell and not chase trends. What's going on, guys? My name is McCoy, CEO and founder of Limitless MFG. We build brands for creators, musicians, and startups basically every single day. And these are the same steps that we use to scale brands and startups from zero to real reoccurring revenue. So if you've been grinding on your clothing brand, posting nonstop, and just wondering why sales aren't coming in, this video is for you. Now, I will say this is just gonna be a walk and talk video. So if you are getting understimulated by this from your TikTok brain and you can't hang on for a couple minutes to just watch through this, go ahead, swipe away. This isn't for you. But if what I'm saying intrigues you, hang around and listen. So the first thing that we're gonna go over is just the math behind $10,000 a month. And now $10,000 a month today might kind of sound like a lot to you, right? But I'm telling you right now, that barely scratches the surface for most of these brands, the potential of the internet and of having a good product. And it's really actually very obtainable. So the first thing is just a simple breakdown, right? Let's say that your AOV, your average order value, is $60. You only need to sell 167 orders a month. Now, that might sound like a lot, but let's break it down. That's only 6 orders a day. That's a lot more obtainable. Now, if you're selling hoodies for $80 to $100, you need to sell even less. Only about 3 to 4 hoodies or orders a day. So stop trying to chase 1 million followers, viral views, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of reach, right? And start focusing on chasing 6 daily orders. That's the real game, and that's what nobody is out here actually talking about. Everybody's out here trying to preach to you how, oh, you need 1 million followers. Here's how to get viral. Start a clipping campaign. Start all these things, right? Now, sure, those things can help get your orders, but at the end of the day, the only thing that actually matters is the orders. I know countless people. I live out here in Los Angeles and kind of a fancy, fun neighborhood, a cool house and stuff like that. I hang around people all the time with millions and millions of followers. Now, none of them have even $1 per follower that they have. And that is backwards to me. In my head, I feel like if you've got millions of followers, you should have millions of dollars in the bank. Now, is that the case? Never. So stop trying to chase clout, followers, views, and just simply start trying to chase orders. The second thing that I want to go over is how to build a product that actually deserves to be bought. So this is something that is a little bit the ethos of the brand, I guess, right? Because you can't fake good brand identity, right? Your product needs to make somebody feel like they belong to something bigger. And a lot of times that's done through community, or that's done through having a statement piece, right? It's done through really creating something that is not just oh, this is a cool design, let me throw it on a t-shirt and just try to sell it, right? That's done through meticulously actually is trying to layer yourself and build yourself as a real brand identity in this vast landscape where just about anybody can jump on the internet and start a brand, right? So every single person that buys your stuff, they need to feel like they're being invited, like they're being heard, like they have a sense of community, a sense of well-being. Before they didn't have your product, they lack something. And now that they have your product, they actually have something tangible, community-driven, and just a lot stronger. It makes them feel better and greater as a human being, right? Every single successful brand that I've worked with isn't just selling a t-shirt. They're selling a story that made people feel cool by wearing it, or it makes people feel like they have a belonging, a sense of community, something that speaks to them. The next thing that I want to touch on is you don't need to start with a full collection of 20 different SKUs and 50 different pieces, right? All that sort of stuff. You just need 2 to 3 amazing products that you can actually stand behind, that you think are amazing products. And beyond that, the community thinks that they're amazing products, and all the people around you think that they're amazing products, right? You don't need to half-ass 50 different SKUs and see which one sticks. No. When you're first getting started, you need to kind of go all in. You need to take that leap. Sink your teeth into a product that actually speaks and brings value to you and to the people that you're trying to sell it to. And if you can't do that, it's going to be very hard for you to kind of really get the initial lift and scale that you need to get this off the ground. The third thing that I want to touch on is simple systems that actually scale. So we're going to break this down into 3 key systems. The first system that we're going to touch on is the website and conversion rates. It should be very simple. You should have a very easy, understandable, and tangible website that anybody can jump on, and within 3 to 4 clicks, they can have a product in their cart ready to check out. In fact, on the 4th click, they should already be at the checkout page, right? If you can make that on the 3rd click, amazing, right? But you need to have clean photos, a very clear navigation. Let me switch arms here. A very clear navigation and a simple and fast checkout and payment processing page. Now, Shopify here is going to be your key. That's it. Simply watch an hour-long YouTube tutorial on how to build a Shopify site, get a free theme, and start playing around. Build a simple and clean website. Take clean product shots. Make it look as professional as possible. And today with AI, you can take a crappy product shot, you can upload it into ChatGPT or whatever AI tool that you use, and you can have it clean up that photo and make it look clean and professional. Do that. Don't skip out on that. It is so important. The website needs to look professional, needs to look like you've been around forever. It needs to kind of resemble and tell your story. And within a few clicks, I need to be able to check out, give you my card information, and buy. Does that make sense? The second system that I'm gonna touch on is email and SMS follow-up. We're gonna focus on the email side. SMS gets a little bit tricky and a little bit expensive down the run. But email is really where you can kind of get the initial boost off the ground for a low barrier of entry. Because 60% of brands never actually email their customers. Think about that. After a customer buys, 60% of brands never email them again. That's a massive mistake. That's the one community that you actually own. Instagram followers, TikTok followers, none of that. You don't own any of those. One algorithm change, there they go, right? But email's a lot stronger. Same with SMS, right? You own that, you control that, you can talk to them, you can share with them, you can show them, and they'll always receive it. Now, will they open it? Well, we can work on your subject lines in the future, right? But you get the point, right? Additionally, you should just simply build 3 basic automations. And every e-commerce store should have this. Every e-commerce store. And I still get on some that are even fairly large, and they don't have these 3 built out. And it blows my mind. They're missing out on so much money. First one is a simple welcome flow, right? It's a very simple welcome flow. And for new brands that are just starting off, this is so important for them, right? It's way more important for the new brand that's starting off than the big box store that has millions of customers already, right? The welcome flow is where you can feel real and authentic to your consumers and make them know that you appreciate them so much for actually signing up to your list. This is where you can tell the story of the brand, let them know why it was so important and you're so thankful and grateful that they've decided to take the next step in joining your email list. Now, they might not have purchased or converted right away, and that's okay, we'll get them there. But they have taken that step to join your email list, join your direct community where you can talk to them freely. The next thing that we're gonna wanna build out is an abandoned cart flow. Now this one's pretty simple and easy as well, right? And if you don't know what an abandoned cart flow is, basically if I add something to cart and I close out of the page, happens all the time. Or I add something to cart and somebody starts calling me, right? And I pick up that phone call and next thing you know, my world revolves around that phone call that I just have, right? Abandoned cart flow is simply an email after I've added something to cart. It automatically sends them an email saying, hey, you forgot about this, it's still in your cart, do you want a chance to get it? It's a great sort of flow, right? Does it work perfectly every time? No, but an automated, nicely set up email flow for abandoned carts is very helpful. And it can recover, a handful of sales for you. And when you're first starting out and you're focused on 6 orders a day, Super helpful. The third flow that we want to set up is a post-purchase flow. Now, a post-purchase flow, you can get creative with these. You can make it a simple thank you, or you can make it an upsell, right? A lot of times what I see is if you're starting off with 3 SKUs, one of them's a hoodie and one of them's a hat and one of them's a shirt, a lot of times that hat will go really nicely with that hoodie, right? And so in that post-purchase flow, if I purchase the hoodie or if I purchase the hat, right? You can send them a post-purchase flow that says, hey, thanks so much for checking out that hoodie. Just want to let you know, X amount of our consumers also love the hat. Take a look down below. There's an image that shows somebody wearing the hoodie, wearing the hat, right? And then it's, hey, if you want to, I can give you free shipping if you check out for this today. You know, however you want to word it. But building out that sort of email flow is essential to actually trying to maintain your 6 order a day. The fourth thing that we're gonna step on or talk on here is a growth flywheel. Now, that might sound like a big, scary, intimidating word, but it's simple, right? Flywheel is simply a loop that keeps people revolving and keeps you growing. So the first thing is content brings the traffic. It's the reels, the TikToks, the behind the scenes, the YouTube videos, the lifestyle stuff. Probably don't need to preach this to you. You probably already understand it if you're posting consistently and struggling with consistently posting to drive sales, right? But it's the content is the top of funnel. The next thing is trying to turn your traffic that is coming in from your content into website visitors who are joining your email list, right? That's the next essential step. You need to get them from the Instagram, from the TikTok, from the YouTube onto your email flow or onto your website to view your products. The third thing is turning those people into customers and turning those customers into repeat buyers. And the only way you're gonna be doing that is through great experience and actually providing a sense of community. Thanking them, letting them know that you appreciate their purchase, letting them know that you couldn't be doing this without them and you hope that your product provides them a greater, better, more successful life than when they didn't have your product. The fourth thing is having those repeat buyers fund your next release. The cheapest thing in this industry is repeat buyers. The most expensive thing in this industry is finding and paying for new buyers. That's gonna be finding a new customer is 10 times harder than having a repeat customer. Now, repeat customers are super important. They are what actually is going to be able to allow you to consistently grow, right? And so sometimes you do need to continuously create new products, new colorways, all that sort of stuff. But if you simply start off with buying that hoodie, here, now repeat buy and buy this hat. Now repeat buy and buy this shirt. Once you've hit that big market, cool. Here's a pair of socks. Here's a new color of that hoodie that you love so much. Here's a new hat design, so on and so forth. The fifth thing is the mindset shift. Now, on this, I need you to be patient and I need you to be professional, right? If you treat your brand like a side hustle, it will simply pay you like it's a side hustle. But if you treat your brand like it's a real business with tracking margins, doing consistent drops, and scaling and always optimizing your systems, you can turn it to a 6-figure machine generating you income month over month. And it's so possible. And I believe it for you and anybody that's watching this video. I've seen it happen dozens, if not hundreds of times. Now, it's not about luck. It's about execution and persistence. You have to continue to try it. If you give it a try for 3 months, it won't work. Now, sure, you can get lucky and hit a trend, but for the common people, it won't work. You need to stay at it day after day, month after month, year after year, continuously pushing it until finally you get it and your systems are optimized. You're hitting 6 sales a day, 7 sales a day, 10 sales a day, 20 sales a day, 100 sales a day. It can happen for you. Now, you don't need to go viral. You just need consistency, clarity, and a real strategy. If you're serious about scaling your brand, go ahead, subscribe to my channel. Check out my company, Limitless MFG, where we go deeper into this sort of brand and community education. And we also provide manufacturing and creative services. Remember, small numbers, big vision. That is how you're gonna hit $10,000 a month.